Hello and welcome to this Let's Play or Let's Roleplay of Disco Elysium, the final cut with myself, Waze. Firstly, this will be a completely blind playthrough from probably around episode 3. First 2 episodes or thereabouts, it's likely I will have seen that content when I was testing and getting a quick hang of the gameplay. But all in all, it's going to be blind. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing where this takes us. This particular episode, episode 0, will be purely character creation and some game mechanics. I am going to read through most of the skills to give those of you who haven't played the game an insight into the character creation mechanics, but just note that I am playing blind, so I won't really know or appreciate the impact that these mechanics will have on the game. Not yet, anyway. So if you want to jump straight into the story, go straight to episode 1. If, however, you want to get an idea of why I will be making some of the decisions I make in this LP, to get some character background and some of the game mechanics, then do stick around until the end. During this particular Let's Play, I'm going to try and avoid talking about the game or the game mechanics during the playthrough, and instead cover them here, in the comments, or if necessary in some update videos separate to the actual gameplay episodes, if necessary. I want to try and stay immersed for this whole LP if I can, without stepping out of character. If there is something I feel I absolutely must address, I'll state that I'm now stepping out of character, although I want to keep this at 0 if I'm totally honest. Everything else needs to be assumed that it's the protagonist talking and not me, Waze. From what I understand about this game, by all accounts, it's difficult to fail, leaving the player open to roleplay to their heart's content, and this excites me a lot. However, I do understand that there are a few soft locks that can happen, but I don't know where they are. So it's something I'll need to bear in mind, and if it does happen, I'll have to deal with that then as it happens. I have researched in the most spoiler-free way I could, just to get an idea of what I was getting into, and I'm hoping we'll have a fun journey and not hit any dead ends along the way. So let's have a look at the stats. Right, so we have some pre-made characters here, which I'm going to bypass and go straight to create your own. Let's do this. Okay, stats-wise, I am going to go for, let's have a look. We've got intellect, psych, physique, and motorics. I'm going to put intellect at 2, motorics at 3, psych at 5, and physique at 2. So, in terms of what these are, intellect is my raw brain power, how smart I am. Psych is my sensitivity and how emotionally intelligent I am. Physique is my musculature and my strength. And motorics is my senses and how agile that I am. So I've looked at these purely from a what kind of character do I want to play, as opposed to how will this affect the game approach. I'll be role-playing this fully, so all decisions will be made from the perspective of what would my character do here. So as I said, these are the stats that I'm going with. I'm also going to go with a signature skill of perception. I'll talk more about that later on. So in terms of intellect and psych and physique and motorics, I'll go into that in a little bit more detail. I am approaching this from a particular perspective, which may be wrong, but it's something I'm running with anyway. And that is, I will be playing as a detective who's hit rock bottom, become an alcoholic, and had some kind of psychotic break. He's also suffering from some kind of retrograde amnesia, most likely alcohol-induced. He has voices in his head that speak to him. He knows nothing of the world he's in. His sense of normal is skewed, to say the least. So I'm basing the character on what kind of person they were before the break. The essence of them, so to speak. So let me explain that. He's essentially a people pleaser. He wants to be liked by everyone. He hates to fail and to let people down. As a result, he's developed sort of very strong empathy skills over the years, so he can more easily manage people and situations to meet this need to be liked and accepted. So he pays attention to everything as a consequence of this, hence the perception signature skill, which I'll cover in skills. He's also likely to make decisions to impress people and curry favor and a positive disposition towards him. So he's essentially a feeling character. And the way I see this story unfolding, this personality, this overload of perception, feelings, and emotion, this has played a part in bringing the character to where he is now, coupled with whatever experiences he went through leading to this moment, which of course neither I nor the protagonist knows. He can't remember any of this, any details of his past. But his underlying personality, his inner drives, how he views the world, well, these are still the motivating forces on why and how he chooses to behave and the decisions he makes. So that's why I've gone for a 5 in psych, which is more empathy and people-based. And I'll come to the skills in a minute, which will explain more. He isn't particularly physical, hence the 2 in physique. And he's not a brain guy either. So a low 2 on intellect, so he's not dumb, but again, he's always been led by his feelings rather than a more logical approach to life and problems. The motorics of 3 is based on him just being fairly average on this. He has decent reaction times, he's not a clumsy idiot, and the motorics affects his perception, which I've already explained. And by setting motorics at 3, this enables me to push that up to a 4 through the signature set, which I'll cover in the skills now. So going to go into all of the skills now and the pros and cons. 2 reasons I'm doing this. 1, to give you an insight into how skills may affect the game. And 2, so I can have one last look to make sure that I'm actually happy with my build and that it fits the character I want to roleplay. Okay, so the skills screen, quite a few. So grab a cuppa because I'm going to go through each of these, and each of them have pros and cons to them. So each of these skills are on a particular line. So these are all my intellectual skills. These are all my psychs, all my physique, and all my motorics. So just started with intellect at the beginning. So logic, this is about wielding raw intellectual power and my ability to deduce the world. This here, cool for analysts, pure rationalists, and obviously logicians, okay? Logic urges you to analyze the living daylights out of the case. Not something my character's going to do, he's going to feel his way through it. It enables you to piece evidence together, detect inconsistencies in statements, and impress everyone with your astonishing conclusions. It's the bread and butter of many a detective. So this one, at high levels, logic will be able to solve even the most complicated puzzle. You'll be very proud and thus susceptible to intellectual flattery. For those blinded by their own brilliance will often miss important clues. With low levels of logic, so this is me, you're going to have a hard time solving even the simplest puzzle. Even if you find the pieces, good luck putting them together. So I'm going to need you to use other means. Encyclopedia. This is cool for thinkers, historians, and trivia freaks, which my character is none of the above. Encyclopedia makes you a know-it-all, turning your mind into a database of facts. It enables you to draw on these facts innately, offering a wealth of background knowledge to all things related and unrelated to your case. Who knows when the history of cigarette brands will provide the breakthrough you need to arrest a murderer, or when knowledge of pre-revolutionary guns might save a life. So at high levels, Encyclopedia shares this wealth of knowledge to an almost overwhelming degree. While it may give you crucial breakthroughs, it more often will clutter your mind with useless tidbits. With low levels of Encyclopedia, though, you'll be forced to work with only the clues in front of you. Without any background knowledge, copying is going to be tough stuff. So, yes, I'm going to struggle with this a bit as well. I do believe as well, Encyclopedia, this very much covers a lot about the lore and the game world. So, because of the character I've decided to go with, there may be some lore that won't be covered off on this. But I also decided to go with this type of character because I didn't want to get bogged down in too much lore either. My other understanding I have is Inland Empire is sort of like this, but it's more about the here and now. So I'll come back to that one. So rhetoric, another intellect skill. This is for ideologues, conversationalists, and would-be politicians. Again, not something my character is. Rhetoric urges you to debate, make intellectual discourse, nitpick, and win. Whereas my character is more likely to maybe back off a bit because he doesn't want to feel like he's steamrolling people in case they don't like him. So it enables you to break down arguments and hear what people are really saying. You'll spot fallacies as soon as they're used. What exactly did the waiter leave out of their testimony? What was the dancer trying to divert you from? Was that double entendre intended, or did you just get an accidental lead? So, high levels on this. Rhetoric would make you an impressive political beast, one whose beliefs are impenetrable, which is to say, one whose mind will not change, one who will calcify. With low rhetoric, though, you'll have a hard time shooting down any argument. Well, my character's more of a person who would try and avoid arguments. Nailing people to their testimonies will be near impossible, so I may struggle with that. Drama. This is cool for undercover cops, thespians of the stage, or psychopaths. Drama urges you to treat the world as a stage, and on it to perform. It enables you to lie, to concoct the most elaborate and wonderful stories, to take on ingenious personas and perform acts of stagecraft in an entertaining amalgam of forbery and deceit. As well, it enables you to see through would-be actors and their false antics. If they lie, you'll know immediately. This one did appeal to me when I was thinking about the type of characters to play. This had a strong draw, but I've decided to go in a different direction. So, at high levels, drama may render you an insufferable thespian, one prone to hysterics and bouts of paranoia. For to know the world is a stage is to know that truth is a vanity. However, with low drama, you cannot lie, or discern when others lie. And a cop who can't do either is a cop who's soon going to be lying 6 feet under. Yeah, it's. I'm not sure why my character became a cop, and maybe that's what led to what could be seen as his inevitable demise or breakdown. Conceptualization, cool for creatives, psychedelic fanciers, and critics. Conceptualization is a special role it wants you to play in the world, not the role of cop, but of art cop. It enables you to make fresh associations, to delve into world concepts, from Jan Karp's postmodernist carpery to Revachol's arabesque architectural style didgeridada. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. Didgeridada. And even the concept of hardcore, and then, importantly, to add your own contribution to these works. So, at high levels, this makes you go big, perhaps too big. It's ostentatious, demanding, grand displays. Why live life when you can throw yourself into a live volcano? Definitely not my character. At low levels, however, you will be unable to see the world in a creative light. You'll be unable to contribute to conversations in an art gallery. Only boring people will invite you to their dust parties. Yep, again, don't think my character's too fussed about that. Visual calculus. So a lot of these intellect skills, from a cop perspective, you can see they're all really important. But I think when we go through the rest, they all have their place. I think that's the wonderful thing about this game is you can play it in so many different ways. And that's really good. So, visual calculus. Cool for forensic scientists, tactical fighters, and math-minded people. Visual calculus verses you not only in the laws of the state, but the laws of nature. It enables you to create virtual crime scene models in your mind's eye. You'll see how a bullet shattered the glass, and from that trace its trajectory with mathematical precision. You'll also count so many footprints, and at a glance discern shoe size and design, as well as the height, weight, and gender of the one who wore them. At high levels, visual calculus makes the world reveal its secrets to you, but you may be so absorbed by your mind diorama that you don't notice as crooks steal your pants. However, at low levels, your mind's eye will be blind. Reconstructing crime scenes will be difficult with outside help. Now, when I did my testing, I actually played with an intellect character. So I said I played maybe the first couple of hours in, just to test it, get an eye on it. And it is useful. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it works with me having a low intellect, and how this character will unfold. So that's all the intellect skills, which I'm running at a 2 on. Now, there are other buffs and things that I can push that can bump these up a little bit, but I'll talk about those later on. So 5, Psych. This is my power to influence myself and others. So let's have a look at these, because this is where my character's strengths are going to lie. Volition. Hold yourself together. Keep your morale up. So it's this one here. Cool for sane people, which I don't think is me at the moment. So I've had a fall, but before the break, before the fall, this is where I would have been. So cool for sane people, well-adjusted cops, the non-suicidal, that's good to know too. Volition urges you to be a good guy to others and yourself. It enables you to resist temptation, be it in a bottle, between a pair of legs, or at the end of an iron barrel, which promises oblivion. Volition gives you the will to finish the investigation, improving your morale, one of the 2 health pools in the game. At high levels, Volition makes you hyper sane. When you're about to get funky, it keeps you normal. It's a bit of a party pooper. At low levels, however, you'll have little morale. Without it, you'll be a profoundly unstable cop, falling apart at the seams as you make irreversible mistakes. So I think with my character, this is sort of my base. I've as I said, I've fallen from grace, for want of a better analogy, and it's about how do I build myself back up. Inland Empire. This is cool for dreamers, paranatural investigators, or mental creators. Inland Empire, and this is what I was saying was, whereas Encyclopedia I think is based about the lore and the world, this is based about your knowledge about the here and now and organizations and people you work with. I think I could be wrong on that, but let's keep looking. Inland Empire is the unfiltered wellspring of imagination, emotion, and foreboding. It enables you to grope your way through invisible dimensions of reality, gaining insight into that which sight can't see. What's really going? What do these enigmatic riddles mean for the world fate? At high levels, Inland Empire animates the inanimate. You'll have conversations with your clothing, conversations that may change the course of an investigation if you're not thrown in the loony bin first. With low Inland Empire, however, you'll be void of imagination and character, and then how would you shape the cosmos? So I think this one could be interesting in what that opens up and unlocks in the game. Empathy, again, a strong part of my character. Cool for judges of character, interviewers, and interrogators. So it has useful cop uses too. Empathy breaks into the souls of others and forces you to feel what's inside. It enables you to notice social clues others may miss. Perhaps a hidden sadness you could coax out a little more, a strange joy from someone who should be bereaved, or a hidden resentment that could return to harm you later. At high levels, empathy really puts you in other people's shoes. You'll cry for their sorrows, punch walls to relieve their angers, and be an even more unstable cop. So it's interesting that one almost goes against the volition about being sane. It's almost, I think it's that thing about very stable when controlling the empathy, but if we start to lose a grip on this can break. I think it sort of fits the idea I've got for my character. At high levels, empathy really puts you in other people's shoes. Okay, I've read all that, haven't I? With low empathy, however, you'll be ungainly beast, unable to talk to anyone without upsetting them, which I will be trying not to upset anyone. Authority, cool for leaders, experts of psychological warfare, and respect junkies. Authority urges you to assert and reassert your dominance over those around you. It enables you to understand the power of dynamics of groups of thugs, know how far you could push a perpetrator and how to establish control. Again, useful as a cop. At high levels, authority demands respect. Even a perceived slight could send you into knee-breaking mode. Yeah, I don't think that's me, even with a high authority. With low authority, however, you're forever in awkward situations, like when you suffer psychological breakdowns after you yell at teenagers and they laugh at you. I'm laughing at that because, yeah, let's just say in the very early game, I suffered with that when I went with a low psych, high intellect character. Okay, esprit de corps. Cool for cops, cop aficionados, and pretend cops. So esprit de corps is the very spirit of policing, the copgeist. It enables you to understand your blue-souled sisters and brothers, not only by picking up subtle signals from your partner, but by witnessing flash sideways scenes as they play out in your precinct. Okay, so on the ball, picking up on things as they happen. At high levels, you'll be the very heart of the police force, not only willing and able, but obliged to take a bullet for your partner. However, without esprit de corps, you'll be flying blind, unable to understand discreet remarks colleagues make in high-stakes situations, remarks that might just save your life. And suggestion. Cool for diplomats, charmer, sociopaths. Again, the kind of thing I think my character would be partial to trying this. I think more likely to try suggestion than authority with my character. I don't know how the game mechanics will work on that or how that comes across, but when I'm making decisions, if I have options to go either or, I'm more likely to go suggestion, if that's indeed a thing. So, suggestion urges a soft power approach. Definitely more my character's style. If people think they want what you want, you've already won. This skill enables you to implant ideas into the minds of others. You can make the citizens like you more. Definitely my character. You can make gangsters turn on each other too. Many crime rings have been broken by just a little doubt, after all. At high levels, suggestion makes you affable to everyone and more resistant to their charms in turn. But all that schmoozing and oozing charm will make you slimy. Yeah, I think my character probably has a bit of a slimy edge to him. That desperation to be liked. And you'll know it, even if no one else does. With low levels, though, you'll have difficulty getting any kind of rapport with others. You'll be alone both during the day and at night. Okay, so intellect and psych done. Physique, again, not big on my character, but this is basically how well my body's built. So endurance, let's have a look at that. Take the blows, don't let the world kill you. Cool for fighters who can take a hit, lookouts who don't sleep, and human batteries. Yeah, I'm not, wouldn't be of a high constitution, my character. Endurance is your metabolism and circulatory system. It improves your health, one of the 2 health pools in the game. It enables to survive being a cop. Who cares if you can't aim a gun if you can take a few bullets? Why be afraid of drugs that hurt your health if you're a very, very healthy man? At high levels, endurance enables you to take a few knocks to the head, enjoy a greater quantity of drugs, and shake off a few cardiac arrests. It makes you a powerful man who looks down on the weaklings who can't keep up. However, cops with low endurance, me, are likely to struggle. The body is frail already, and the flesh of a cop will often be tested. And if it doesn't pass, it dies. Okay, fair enough. Pain threshold, cool for unstoppable fighters, guys who won't die, and masochists. So, pain threshold ignores damage so you can push on, bloodied and crawling to the bitterest end. It enables you to negate damage you would otherwise take, even mental pain, heartache, and loneliness. In fact, these things can become a thrill you seek out and perversely revel in. At high levels, pain threshold turns in on itself in a seriously unhealthy way, with full-on self-destructive behavior. With a low pain threshold, however, you will suffer too easily. Yeah, I think my character is a sufferer. Even a slap from a teenager will make you whine and complain. Physical instrument, cool for muscle men, bare-knuckle brawlers, and gym teachers. Physical instrument is not only your muscles and your skeleton, it is your ability to use them effectively. It enables you to do push-ups, sit-ups, knockout punches, and 360-degree spin kicks. It's a one-size-fits-all solution to thriving and surviving in a physical world. At high levels, physical instrument breaks doors, chains, and bones, and it makes you laugh at the namby-pansies who can't. You'll be manned up, encouraging others to curl iron until they're manned up too. At low levels, however, you'll have a hard time arresting anyone who isn't infirm or already dead. Indeed, engaging in physical confrontations could leave you in either state. Yes, which is why we will try and avoid those kind of confrontations. Electrochemistry. Cool for high flyers, party enthusiasts, and cops who need lightning. Electrochemistry is the animal within you, the beast longing to be unleashed, to indulge and enjoy. It enables you to take drugs with fewer negative side effects. It also enables you to better investigate lurid matters. If you need to understand a chemical breakdown, or talk to someone blasted out of their mind, or understand sexual dynamics, electrochemistry is there to guide you. At high levels, electrochemistry makes you a man of unrestrained pleasure, an unrepentant Lothario who leers at people with a bottle of speed and a plastic bendy straw in either hand. But with a low electrochemistry, you'll be too innocent to be effective. Without a working knowledge of drugs and sex, the city will be difficult to understand. Now, just again, bearing in mind my character, I said, low on this now, but I think there are buffs you can get through the game. I can level up and put points into things. I'll be honest, still don't fully understand all of that yet. I think that's one of those I'm going to have to play it to experience it kind of things. But there are still some of these weaker ones that I can buff up with other things, or I think I can look to put points into later on. So I'm not stuck with these. I can, I think, individually select some of these other things to flesh out and evolve my character. And that's one that I could see my character as he struggles with his mental state, his addictions, and being a bit of a weakling in the world around him. I could see him maybe starting to lean on or rely on some of these other things that I may be low on to start with. So we will see. Shivers. Cool for city lovers, the wisest of the streetwise, and the genuinely supernatural. Shivers come when the temperature drops and you become more keenly aware of your surroundings. It enables you to hear the city itself, to truly belong to the streets. It is a supernatural ability. Old wrongs play out in present time. Scenes across the city happen in front of you. But who is speaking to you? At high level, shivers may make you seem mad to the outside world. As you listen to the city, you don't listen to others. Yeah, I don't think that's one my character is likely to do. He's going to be very people-focused in terms of listening to them. So, your superiors may begin to worry. With low shivers, though, you will seldom hear the city speaking to you, and if you cannot hear it, how can you ever save it? Half-light, cool for the high-strung investigators. Could be me too. Shoot now, ask questions later, cops. Not sure on that one. And surprise haters. Half-light is your fight or flight response. Okay, yeah. It enables you to sense the way situations are about to turn. It injects palpable fear into your heart. Fear that urges you to act before it's too late to ever act again. Fear that makes you frighten others. It is the aggression that lets you squeeze every last drop of information out of a witness. So yeah, if I'm breaking a little bit, I could see this kicking in maybe. Who knows? At high levels, Half-Light makes you ultra-attuned to the world. It is perpetual fear of your own shadow, of someone else's name or scent. You'll be ready, always, to pounce and physically interrogate passers-by. At low levels, however, you'll find your survival instinct is lacking, and your methods limp-wristed. Those who respect violence will not respect you. Yeah, so yeah, it's fun. Like, all of these skills, like depending on how dialogue pans out, how situations pan out, all of these could shift or change. It is going to be the evolution of a character, which again, I'm quite excited about seeing how that unfolds. And the last skill set here is motorics, how well you move your body. So again, I think fairly average really on this. So hand-eye coordination, ready, aim and fire. Cool for trick shooters, snipers, jugglers. No reason because of the character's psychology that I can't be half decent at these things, which I think is why I've run with a 3 on this. So hand-eye coordination loves the interactions between you and things that fly in the air. It enables you to catch coins from mob bosses, shoot straight, and understand firearms intimately. Want to know the precise make and mark of a pistol? Hand-eye coordination's got you. Want to shoot someone with it? Ditto. At high levels, hand-eye coordination makes you deadly, supposing you've a weapon in your hand. But once you do, hand-eye coordination will compel you to take the shot, even if it's not the best approach. At low levels, however, you'll be even more of a disaster in waiting, because when the guns go off, and they always do, you'll probably hit the wrong target. Perception. And this is the one I'm going to take as my signature perception. So that will bump up to a 4 straight off. This is cool for fine detail detectives, sensualists, and urban scavengers. Perception wants you to be open to the world, with eyes, ears, and nose working at full capacity. It enables you to take in what others don't notice. The little wad of bills hid away in the sugar bowl, the odour of a perp hiding beneath the floorboards, the gulp of a suspect after claiming they've nothing to hide. At high levels, perception takes in every final detail of the physical world, enough to overwhelm all but the strongest mind. However, with low levels, you're going to miss out on everything. After all, you can't arrest what you can't see, hear, or smell. So, I think the reason I'm pumping this in is just bearing in mind this guy's a cop. with the lower intellect, his perception might sort of help counter or balance that a little. And that's just to make him being a cop feel a bit more rounded, which I think makes sense. Reaction speed, cool for shot dodgers, thinkers on their feet, and pinball heads. Reaction speed is the agility of your body and mind. It is instinct. It enables you to dodge punches, knives, bullets. Also sucker punches of the verbal kind. You'll be more streetwise, never lost for words or lacking a witty comeback. Your mental alacrity lets you connect little details on the fly, working in tandem with your intellect skills. So at high levels, reaction speed makes your twitch reflex freakishly good. However, when your body acts before your mind, innocent situations can turn bad. Can turn bad fast. You're high-strung, overly alert. At low levels, though, you won't be the one shooting first, which probably means you won't be shooting at all. So again, I think fairly mid-level on that. Savoir-faire. Cool for acrobats, thieves, unbearable show-offs. Savoir-faire urges you to be better than you are. It urges you to be disco. Slip by others in a Samoan boxing style, then tumble out the back with unexpected acrobatics. It enables you to move with silent footsteps, to groove to a good beat, and to lift useful evidence off perps without them noticing. It also makes you a cooler cop, whose athletic flair will certainly impress the citizenry. So I could see at times, maybe out of desperation, my character trying to be cooler than he is, to try and make people like him. So this is a possibility of pushing up as well. Also making a bit of a tit of himself when it goes wrong. At high levels, savoir-faire will make you the king of cool, which is as much to say the most stylish douchebag in Revachol. Nobody will see you until you're ready to be seen, and then they'll get the full treatment, whether they want it or not. At low levels, however, you'll be a bumbling, feckless cop, unable to catch a pair of keys thrown by your partner without losing an eye. Interfacing, cool for machinists, tinkerers, instrument players. Interfacing wants you to connect to machines, to use and improve them, because that makes you a better human organism. It enables you to understand interactions with machines, be that how to repair the motor of a Kinema motor carriage, how to analyze the way a suspect used a pen, or how to refigure electrical circuits. It even lets you steal keys off a keyring without being noticed. At high levels, interfacing will isolate you from society. Why bother with people when you could talk to machines? Yeah, so I don't think this is something I'm going to be pushing from a role-play character point of view. And why bother with things like money when you can just pocket that display sandwich? At low levels, however, you will have a crucial part of the world cut off from you. People use machines to commit crimes all the time. If you can't understand how a crime was accomplished, how can you solve it? And composure. Cool for card players, military fetishists, and cool people. Composure wants you to not crack, or at least it wants you to not crack in front of other people. Yep, that's me. It enables you to put up a strong front. It keeps your emotions hidden from the world and helps you to read the body language of others. Yeah, I could see this one being something evolving or developing with this character. Where are we? Helps you to read the body language of others, to sense the cracks in their own composure. As well, it keeps you looking good while you do it. You'll rock that disco outfit a lot more if you don't slouch. At high levels, composure makes you tuck your gut in and maintain a stern expression. Even lying in bed late at night when no one else can see you. You'll have to keep it up. You'll never be able to stop. With low composure, though, you'll always be the first to crack. Every cop's got a point when all that fear and rage comes spilling out, and the ones who unleash it don't stay on the force much longer. Perhaps, worse still, you won't even make the ranks of fashion police. So, what I'm going to do now, very briefly, just a couple of other, or a few other key mechanics, just to help you make sense of the game and the story. So, a few things worth mentioning. The thought cabinet. The thought cabinet is quite important for this game, and just to make it, because I don't understand it fully myself yet, I'm going to use a description I found online to try and help explain how this works. So, the thought cabinet is basically a metaphorical landscape of your character's mind, showing what they're thinking about and what thoughts make up their core personality. At the start, your thought cabinet's empty. reflecting the fact that you've chemically erased your own psyche and have to remake it. As you explore the world, take certain actions, and encounter particular events, you'll begin to have new thoughts that you can internalize, and I'll explain that a bit later, making them core parts of your identity. When thoughts are internalized, they give permanent stat changes, unlock new dialogue options, or give additional bonuses appropriate to the thought. So the thought cabinet is at the bottom of the screen. It's marked by the symbol of a diamond with the silhouette of a head in it. And when we click on that, it shows all the thoughts that you're aware of, those you've internalized, and those you're yet to find. Different thoughts arise in different ways, but many are the results of patterns in your speech. For example, referring to yourself as homeless enough times will prompt a piece of dialogue with yourself. Pick the right dialogue options and you'll unlock Hobocop. So this is just one example of one of the thoughts that you can have in your cabinet. And the Hobocop thought, which you can now choose to internalize if you so wish via the thought cabinet. Once you do, you'll get a permanent modification to your stats and possibly some additional effects and extra dialogue options going forward. So once you have a thought ready to go, and presuming you have an empty slot to put it in, you can click on it in the thought cabinet and choose to internalize it. The internalization actually takes a certain amount of in-game time, depending on the thought, usually several hours, and during which your character will often suffer some sort of stat penalty, representing his distraction as he ponders over who he is. And you can't do this while you're sleeping either, meaning you have to take the penalties while you work. You can have a maximum of 12 thoughts that you can hold at any one time, but you can add new ones by discarding other ones. When you start, however, you've only got 3, but you can choose to add new thoughts rather than skills on level ups. So essentially, I think whether I go with thoughts or whether I go with skills, I don't know yet. I haven't played the game enough, so we'll see. But essentially, if I do go with thoughts, I'll be running with thoughts that I feel fit my character or their development, rather than taking thoughts that I think might actually affect the gameplay and help me in this situation or that situation. So look, I've left the link to where I got this explanation in the description, just to give credit where it's due. There, on that page, there is a section on how to unlock all of the thoughts, but I stopped reading that section, the first line, when I realized it had spoilers, and then I quickly discarded that thought. So the last mention here is just clothes and items. Clothes in the game you can give buffs to stats while being worn that can help you pass skill checks, and they often have penalties too. And then there are drugs and other items which can give temporary boosts, again with possible downsides. As for what all these are, I've no idea, but I thought it was worth a mention, as that although my character may refer to them in game, I probably won't be explaining it in detail every time unless that fits the narrative. So hopefully that gives you some insight into the game and the character I will be playing with to embark on this epic haze of a journey. So if you're ready to jump in, episode 1 is all set and ready to go. Just click on the end screen box you can see now, or click the link in the description. There's also a link to the playlist so you can easily access all the episodes as they arrive. I do hope you'll join me on what I think is going to be a very interesting, unique, and at times bizarre journey. I hope you're all well, and until next time, take care.